Tom here, g'day champions, how's it going? And welcome back to this week's vendor reset, the greatest on the interweb. It's June 4th and today's vendor video will cover my top picks, hot ticket, interesting items and must buy gear for the week. Remember to show your support if you enjoy or find this video helpful, a simple like is all that it takes, and if you're not already, please subscribe. Righto champions, with all that said and done, let's get in and check out these vendors. Starting at the countdown vendor this week where we've got the Grudge, this SMG's already got damage to targets out of cover on it, so all you really need to do is max out the stats. Next we've got the Courier Backpack that's got armor, max repair skills, skill damage, and perfect creeping death. This one might be okay for some sort of a hybrid build. And we've also got a DZ exclusive here, the Gift. It's got 11.8% weapon damage, it's got some headshot damage, and that health would have to go, so you'd be rolling on some form of crit. This isn't a bad one because it is a DZ exclusive and all these items will cost you 75 countdown credits. Over in New York at the Haven, we're stopping in to see Marco. He does have a SOCOM MK20 that's got Determined on it. And there's also some Palisade gloves here. A lot of players in the community seem to like to buy these sorts of items to deconstruct them for the materials. I'm going to be saving my credits though. Popping in next door to see our old mate Roy, and he does have this Marine Super 90 that's got preservation on it and damage to targets out of cover. You could buy this one and just roll whatever talent you like. The only other item that really stands out to me are the Seska gloves. They've got crit chance and hazard protection, maybe for a Hazzy build. At the White House vendor this week, we've got the Cherished chest piece with Perfect Trauma. This has max hazard protection on it, it might be worth checking out. The only other item that might be worth your time is the F2000. This one's already got damage to targets out of cover on it, and it comes with the talent Sadist. The only real downside to this weapon is it's got 3 attachment slots. Unfortunately, everything else is pretty mediocre, so we will carry on. Inside at your clan vendor this week, the named item is the new Reliable LMG. I'm not a huge fan of this one. We've got an Ortiz holster. We've got a Striker chest piece with decent weapon damage on it. Aces gloves, and unfortunately everything else here looks pretty average. This M44 might be okay, it does have Ranger on it, but I would be skipping it. On to the next vendor. At the Theatre Settlement we do have the Artist's Tool. At the moment I'm not a fan of this gun, but in the future rifles are supposed to be getting a buff, so it might be worth having one. And there's also this Tactical Super 90 that already has damage to targets out of cover on it and the talent Optimist. This one is definitely worth picking up, and then you can roll that talent to whatever you fancy. However, everything else is mediocre, so we will carry on. Down at the Castle Settlement we have the Designated Hitter. This is alright for your healer builds. Unfortunately nothing else really stands out to me here, it's all very average. Over at the Campus Settlement this week we've got the White Death with that 137% headshot damage on it. However, the attribute roll and the talent aren't great, I would be skipping it. Nothing else really catches my eye, but there is an 8.2% Reviver Armor Repair mod. This one goes on your Reviver Hive, so when you get revived, it gives you more armor. If you don't have any of these, make sure you pick this one up. Now for our Dark Zone vendors, and we're going to start at DZ West where we've got the Baker's Dozen. This was one of those guns that used to be awesome, now not so much, but there are buffs coming to rifles, so it could be good again. Again, this is another vendor where not a lot's happening, but there is an 11% protection from elites mod. But remember, the items at your Dark Zone vendors cost Dark Zone resources, so I'd be skipping it. Shooting on down to DZ South, and I got excited for a whole split second. We've got the Matador. Unfortunately, this one does have 10.8% weapon damage, it's got weapon handling and skill haste. I mean, it still could be usable if you are desperate for one, but I would be passing on it. We've got an Orc with Flatline that hits pretty hard, and there is a Fal here with fast hands, but again, these are very average rolled items. I would be skipping them. And wrapping up the vendors this week, we're going to finish at DZ East where we've got the Claws out. This one's got a skillty and explosive resistance. You know, a lot of players use these for their bonk builds, but I don't suggest running them. Again, it's another mediocre week at the vendors. I'd be saving my credits and my resources and praying for next week. So that's going to wrap it up for this week's Vendor Reset Champions. If you're interested in the daily targeted loot, it's on your screen now. Thanks to everyone for tuning in, and make sure that you show your support by smashing the like button on this video, and if you're not already, please smash that subscribe. Everyone's support is always greatly appreciated, and remember to stay frosty, keep looting and shooting, and giving them hell. And I hope to catch you all in the next one. I'm Plum, I'm out.